Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And this week, we're playing one of the spiciest cards from the Brothers War, Awaken the Woods, but we're not playing it in Standard. We're playing it in Modern, in this ridiculous Awaken the Woods ramp deck, trying to figure out if you can make enough Dryad Arbors to actually win in the Modern format. So let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, jump into a Modern League, see it in action. So the card it's all about, our namesake card, our build around card, Awaken the Woods, a mythic from the Brothers War, double green and X to make X Dryad Arbors, essentially X 1/1 green forest Dryad land creature tokens. So this is kind of the card that our deck is built around. It is our main finisher, it's one of our main ramp spells. So how are we actually turning this into a modern legit finisher? Well, first, we need a bunch of mana to make this work. Awaken the Woods, you really want to have 5 mana, 6 mana to get full value out of it, and having 10 or 20 mana, even better. That's a lot of Dryad Arbors. So we have a couple of unique to Modern ramp packages. Cleansing Wildfire plus Flagstones of Trokir kind of turns Cleansing Wildfire into a rampant growth that draws a card because we get a land from Flagstones and one from Cleansing Wildfire. We have Blood Sun in Lotus Field and also a bounce land in Selesnya Sanctuary. If we play Blood Sun, so lands lose all abilities except mana abilities, Lotus Field doesn't make us sack land, so it suddenly becomes incredibly busted. It just taps to add 3 mana. So these are our main ramp cards, which will hopefully get us to huge Awaken the Woods, which is also a ramp card, but also our finisher. We also got a couple of more traditional ramp pieces. Explore just lets us play an extra land and draws a card. Escape to the Wilds, really a card draw spell, but it also is a ramp spell because we get an extra land drop. So all these cards together hopefully let us get some really big Awaken the Woods. So how do we actually use Awaken Woods to close out the game? And answer number 1 is Eternal Witnesses. One thing I know about Awaken the Woods from playing it in Standard is the first one's pretty good, but the one that really gets you is the second one, because the second one, you can use all the mana from the first one, all of the Dryad Arbors that you make, to cast the second one for a huge X. So our easiest way to win the game is just like Awaken the Woods, make a bunch of Dryad Arbors, Eternal Witness, get back the Awaken Woods, cast it again, make even more Dryad Arbors, and beat our opponent down with 1/1 forest Dryad land creature tokens. We also have Zacama Primal Calamity. We can ramp into it with Awaken the Woods. It'll untap all of our lands, and then we can dump all of our mana into the biggest dinosaur in Magic to shoot down artifacts or enchantments or creatures or gain a bunch of life. Plus, it's a 9/9 Vigilant Rage Trampler, actually a pretty legit clock. We also have Titania's Command, which is technically one of our ramp cards, but is also a really sweet finisher with Awaken the Woods. We can Awaken the Woods, make a bunch of 1/1 Dryad Arbors, and then use Titania's Command to put 2 counters on them, making him 3/3s, which is actually kind of a legit clock. Also, Titania's Command kind of bonkers with Blood Sun because we can use it to get 2 Lotus Fields, so it's gonna make 6 mana with the 2 lands that it gets, which is kind of absurd. Otherwise, we got a bunch of removal. We got some Gideon Ally of Zendikars for some reason. Not really sure why that's in the deck. I guess the emblem works pretty well with the Dryad Arbors, but not really sure about that one. Mana base, the main thing to note here is no fetch lands, because we're a Blood Sun deck, and Blood Sun shuts down fetch lands because sacking them and tutoring out a land is not a mana ability. We can't play fetch lands, so we got a bunch of just dual lands, some Valakut Awakenings to churn through our deck. In the sideboard, a bunch of weird removal, some hate cards for graveyards and like Indomitable Creativity, an Emrakul, which is probably in the deck to fight against mill by shuffling things back into our library from our graveyard, but thanks to our Awaken the Woods, not impossible that we could actually just hardcast an Emrakul in this deck, and that is Awaken the Woods for Modern. That's our Much Ado deck for this week, so let's jump into a league and see, can Awaken the Woods actually make enough Dryad Arbors to win a game of Modern? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Brothers War cards? And snag them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Much Brew About Nothing time. We are playing some Awaken the Woods ramp in Modern of all places. And, well, I mean, we'll try this. We can blow up Flagstones. We can blow up Flagstones to ramp and draw a card. We have the Blood Sun if we ever find Lotus Field. Don't really have payoffs. Opponent's on Jingatha, which, all right, looks like Grinding Station combo, I assume. I think, well, okay, maybe not. And Thoughtseize, so maybe like a Death Shadow list? Our hand gets a lot slower without the Cleansing Wildfire. Takes the Cleansing Wildfire. Well, we will play Jetmir's Garden, go. Untaps. Yeah, that definitely makes our hand a lot worse. Wow, opponent with the greediest keep ever. All right, well, I guess that's fine. If our opponent kept on one lander because they have a Thoughtseize, we can deal with that. Blood Sun. Opponent gonna play a Spell Pierce. So I guess our opponent's thinking is they can cast whatever they need to, even with one land. Passing. Play Flagstones, sack of Flagstones, Sacred Foundry. Do we actually resolve anything against our opponent's deck? If our opponent taps out, we will definitely Valakut Awakening. If our opponent doesn't tap out, then I think we just wait for now. Opponent's like literally discarding in hand size. Well, let's Grove of the Burn Willows, Timeless Witness, get back Blood Sun. Pass the turn. Now we could actually use an Awaken the Woods. Wow, opponent scoops it up. Okay, well, that was more our opponent losing to themselves, I think, than anything. It's got to be like Death Shadow, right? What other deck would be Grixis, have Jingotha? It's got to be Death Shadow. All right, so against Death Shadow, I think Temporary Lockdown is our biggest tech. Not super hyped about Gideon. Probably just dies. Maybe go down like one Titania's Command. I could also see bringing in a Runed Halo, or maybe two. We can go down like one Timeless Witness. I guess Runed Halo Temporary Lockdown is a little awkward. Maybe we just go one. We got Solitudes and Furies. Let's try it like that. We can win if our opponent keeps a one-lander and discards to hand size. What if our opponent does things, though? Also, we didn't really Awaken the Woods. I mean, we won, but, well, this hand does lack a second white source. But we do have our sideboard cards. Opponent, Mishra's Bauble. Passes. Cracks to take a peek. Grove of the Burn Willows. Well, we're going to play the Flagstones in case we draw the white mana and can actually cast like a Runed Halo or something. Opponent cracks a Scalding Dart. Blood Crypt. Untap. So definitely Death Shadow. Our opponent is aggressively losing life, so it's gotta be Death Shadow. Watery Grave. Untapped. Koraxa. Hilariously, these Grove of the Burn Willows are kind of good, aren't they? Let's discard Stomping Ground. Yeah, just like forcing our opponent to gain life seems kind of relevant. Ooh, another Flagstones. Ooh! All right, Grove of the Burn Willows. We have the tech for the Death Shadow matchup. What a weird situation. You only see this in Modern. Our opponent's going to intentionally try to lose life to turn on Death Shadows. We are intentionally going to tap this for no reason to make them gain life. So our opponent's like playing their Shocklands untapped for no reason to lose life. We're going to be tapping this, even though we can't cast anything, to make our opponent gain life. A little worried about this Kroxa. Kroxa, usually not super heavily played in our opponent's archetype, but I mean, maybe we can temporary lock down the Kroxa. Opponent, Ragavan. Sure. And a blue to Delta. Opponent down to 3 cards. Gain a life. Grove of the Burn Willows. Make you gain a life. Make you gain a life. Play the Blood Sun. I think we got to try to wait on... Ooh, Lotus Field is, well, we got the mana. We'll see. Can we draw something to do with the mana? But we're going to have a lot of mana now. Gets in, hits us. We really, I don't like taking these Ragavan hits. If we run out this temporary, wow, opponent hits Awaken the Woods. We would have liked to draw that. That would have been sweet. Watery Grave untapped. Yeah, opponent's going to have a hard time getting their Death Shadows online now. Ooh, Awaken the Woods. Oh, do we just go for it? Lotus Field. I mean, I think we do. It could definitely get countered, but we got to try. Awaken the Woods X4 resolves. Oh, okay. The Dryad Arbors have arrived. You know what's pretty good at blocking Ragavans? A board full of Dryad Arbors. About it, Scalding Tarn. And against Jingotha, sure. About it, Bazes. Fury. Do we cast the Fury? I mean, I guess, right? Or do we temporary lockdown to keep our opponent on 3 mana? 1, 2. But what if they Jingotha? Does that just beat us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fury. Kill the Ragavan. Our opponent can't correct these fetch lands either. Worth mentioning. So kill the Ragavan, play the Plains, hit you with the Dryads, down to 14. Yeah, as long as the Blood Sun's out, these fetch lands lose their ability to fetch. Opponent kills the Fury, and passes. Another Fury. Get in with the Forest Dryads. Play the Forest and pass the turn. Basically, we're trying to wait for our opponent. Wow, the opponent cannot beat the Forest Dryads. Okay, that was actually really good. All right, Awaken the Woods. Awaken the Woods. I mean, not only was that a win, that was an Awaken the Woods win. The 4 Dryad Arbors getting the job done. Blood Sun definitely helped, but our opponent didn't even bother to try to like get back the Kroxa and fight through it. They just, I mean, I guess they know if they do it, we just temporary lockdown, which kind of wrecks them, but that was sweet. That was sweet. Let's keep doing that. Much brew about nothing time. We are trying to Awaken the Woods in Modern. Cannot keep that hand, unfortunately. This we can keep. We'll just put a Timeless Witness to the bottom. Well, we don't have anything to do with this Cleansing Wildfire. Maybe our opponent. I mean, one of the upsides of Cleansing Wildfire is if we have the right land, we can use it as ramp. If we don't, then we can hopefully use it on our opponent's land, like an Urza Saga or a Tron land. This hand's more okay than great. If we can find a Lotus Field to go with this Blood Sun, we can make a lot of Dryad Arbors, though. Blood Crypt for our opponent. Untapped Ragavan. That's annoying. Ooh, there's a Lotus Field, too. Okay. Temple Garden, untapped. Blow up the Blood Crypt, draw a card. I do not like that we're facing down this Ragavan. That's the bad news. We're going to take some hits from it by the looks. Please don't take our Blood Sun. This hand gets so much worse if our opponent thought seizes Blood Sun. Gets in with the Ragavan. Stupid monkey. Gets a treasure, draws a card. Boo. Thankfully, the cards from our deck shouldn't be that good. All right, Fury. I mean, would have been good for killing the Ragavan, but cracks. I mean, I guess the question's going to be, are we fast enough here? Gets a Swamp. Uses the treasure for a Seasoned Pyromancer. Discards Grief and Ragavan. All right, so it looks like Rakdos MH2 Tribal. Play the Mountain. Play the Blood Sun. Draw a card. Oh boy. I mean, if we can go 2 more turns without dying, I mean, even next turn we could start doing things. We just really need to not get thought seized. Next turn we can Lotus Field Titania's Command. In the following turn we can cast the best Awaken the Woods of all time. Opponent hits us to 10. Ragavan triggers. Steals a land. Makes a treasure. Bloodstained Mire can't be cracked with the Blood Sun out. It's a little bit of good news. Passes. So we draw a bounce land. Well, we're going to play the Lotus Field. Titania's Command. Make bears. Search for lands. If we can dodge for one more turn, this is going to be absurd. 2 Lotus Fields. Pass the turn. Okay. Come on. No griefs. Nothing like that. Just let us cast the best Awaken the Woods that has ever happened in Magic. Blackleaf Cliffs. That's actually pretty big for our opponent. To kill our stuff. And then scam it. Yep. So there goes the bears. The bears. There better not be a Thought Seize here. If there's a Thought Seize, I'm going to be so sad. This Awaken the Woods is going to be epic. Opponent gets in, hits us. We have like 15 mana. We could hard cast an Emrakul next turn. Opponent, Ragavan. What do they steal? Solitude, which actually can be cast here. Do they bother to cast it? Just not a grief. Oh, you better not hit that Awaken the Woods. You better not. Oh, okay. They do not hit the Awaken the Woods. Opponent's out of cards. We did lose a Lotus Field, but we still get a bounce land. Ooh, and a Titania's Command. Well, step 1. Best Awaken the Woods ever. 1. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be so good. New world record for Dryad Arbors, I think. Yes, we will make 12 Dryad Arbors. No one expects to Awaken the Woods. And now we should be able to survive the turn. Hopefully just win with this Titania's Command. Our opponent can draw a Thought Seize or Grief or something, but if not, we can just put 2 counters on other Dryad Arbors. Oh my god, they drew a Thought Seize. Okay. That keeps our opponent alive for now, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, that is a really good draw for our opponent, for sure. Are we attacking? Looks like yes. Or not. Only a little. Well, I mean, we're gonna block. Okay, come on, deck. Come on, deck. Give us a good draw. Oh, I really wanted that Titania's Command. Eternal Witness would be great. Any of your Eternal Witnesses. Not a land. Please not a land. We have all the mana we'll ever need. We will accept. Wow, I thought that first Awaken the Woods was the best Awaken the Woods ever, but the thing is, the second Awaken the Woods, when you can tap the creatures from the first one, is even better. How many Dryad Arbors will we make this time? 22. All right, up to 32 Dryad Arbors. Opponent, can you beat 32 Dryad Arbors? If only we could hide them back with our other lands. A little salty ass game if we top deck twice. Yeah, I mean, we put Awaken the Woods in our deck to draw it, opponent. Plus, you did draw the Thought Seize to take our Titania's Command. I think our opponent's literal pile of Modern Horizons cards is losing to Dryad Arbors. I would probably be a little salty too. You get all the cards from the best set ever printed, the most powerful set ever printed, and you lose to Dryad Arbors. Oh, Modern is a great format. Where else does this happen? The Stupid Monkeys, the Pyromancers, the Furies, the Griefs, the Tour. No match. No match for Dryad Arbors. We draw. Can we make it 3 top decks to really... One more Awaken the Woods? One more. If we draw another Awaken the Woods, I don't even think we win. I think we just cast a huge Awaken the Woods. Okay, well, Valakut Awakening. Not exactly a top deck. Oh, Escape. Escape is a top deck. Oh, wow. Okay. Escape to the Wilds. I mean, we probably should win, right? That's probably the correct play. Let's go to combat. We'll leave a couple back. How would you like to take 28 Dryad Arbors to the face? Dead! Well, the woods were awoken, and our opponent paid a pretty big price. All right, so opponent's just playing Scam. What do we have that's even good against Scam? Anything? Not really. I mean, I guess we're just kind of hoping to do that again. Opponent's gonna be on the play. Like, Temporary Lockdown seems at least somewhat helpful. I don't know. I haven't been very impressed with Gideon in this deck, honestly. Not that Gideon's horrible, but it doesn't seem great. I mean, I guess if you can get it down super quick off of like Cleansing Wildfire might be good. Like turn 3 Gideon's probably good in some matchups. Kind of a slow hand, but we'll keep it. Double Fury is a thing, and Cleansing Wildfire could do something eventually. Would love to draw a non-bounce land so we can like Jetmir's Garden and then actually play something. Thinking about Thought Seizing. Instead, goes with the Stupid Monkey. Oh, we draw a land. All right, so let's Jetmir's Garden. Go. Oh, we could just Fury the Ragavan. I think we're going to be a little greedy and wait and try to get 2 things. Just getting the Ragavan doesn't feel that great. It does make a mana which hurts. Although our deck is not very good for stealing. The card draw mode is not very good. Opponent's going to be getting a bunch of, well, Valakut Awakening. Can they play that as a land? Can be played. I believe they could have, right? Do the Voidwalker. Well, now we definitely are going to have to Fury. So Fury, pitch a Cleansing Wildfire, kill Voidwalker, kill Ragavan. Do they have scam stuff? Undying Malice. Okay, so they're going to get back the Voidwalker for now. Yeah, let's play a Plains. Cleansing Wildfire, the Castle Lockway, draw a card. Ooh, Bloodsun could be nice if we can get it down. So our opponent can what? Fury or Cleansing Wildfire with the Voidwalker? Oh, so many Okay, all the Voidwalkers could actually be an issue here. That's a lot of unblockable threats. Opponent hits us for 4. Yeah, we might be getting Voidwalked here. Well, Grove of the Burn Willows, run out the Bloodsun. I think our best bet, Bloodsun, and then we can hardcast a Fury, although I'm still not sure that's going to save us. We make a ton of Awaken the Woods tokens, but they cannot stop the Voidwalkers, and we're taking a lot of damage. If they have another scam card, another like Undying Malice, we're probably just dead. You know what would be good is Solitude. Solitude gets around the scamming, or just Temporary Lockdown. Another Fury. Well, okay, play the bounce land. We gotta go for it, although I'm not sure this is gonna work. Fury, cast it. Do you have more Undying Malices? Opponent. Okay, they do not. All right, so maybe it'll work. We're not like literally dead yet. Okay, Thought Seize. They probably have to take the Fury though, right? Take the Fury and just try to win with the Voidwalker. Takes the Fury. Yeah, Voidwalker is quite the magic card. That is quite the magic card. Wow, they're gonna sack it. Okay, to get a Fury. Okay, so Fury to kill our Fury. I think this is good for us unless our opponent has more discard, because we can block this Fury for a while with Dryad Art. Okay. All right. If our opponent has more discard, well, now we need to top deck something. Yeah, here comes the scamming. Please, Lotus Field. Ooh, well, okay, play that, pass the turn. Probably dead, though, now. Oh, double discard. Well, I mean, I don't know about this Hidetsugu Consumes All. That seems actively bad against our deck, but it's not against the rules to play cards that are bad against your opponent's deck. Opponent, fetch land that does nothing. Hits us down to 1. Well, we need to top deck this turn or we're definitely dead. Opponent hits us down to 4, down to 1. We draw... Okay, Valakut Awakening. Well, those are some redraws. Bottom. So 3 new cards. Can any of them stop a Fury, please? Ooh, yes. Okay, so what if they have a scam card? So we can Fury the Fury. Oh, it's our Fury, though. Yeah, this works. Okay. If they save it, it would come back under our control. So we will just Fury. to kill our opponent's Fury, which is actually our Fury. Play the land, pass the turn. We are at 1, though. That is not much life. Opponent. Doothy Voidwalker. Well, okay. Technically, Ruined Halo can make us not die to that. Although we're still going to need another top deck. Lotus Field. Ruined Halo. On Voidwalker. Hit you with the Fury. But there's still another Fury in exile. So our opponent can Voidwalker to get our Fury to do that same... Oh, these Voidwalkers. So busted. Can we top deck? Can we top deck? Opponent again steals our Fury with Voidwalker. Take 2. All right. Well, we got to draw something. Eternal Witness, Awaken the Woods, card draw, more Lotus Fields. All right. That time we got Modern Horizons 2, didn't we? Well, I think we want more temporary lockdowns. Seeing our opponent's deck, we're going to go down this Gideon. Gideon lines up pretty badly with Doothy Voidwalker. It just gets sniped. All right, let's try it like that. We avoided the scamming, but our opponent just had all the annoying cards. I mean, we're going to keep this. I don't feel super good about it, but planes, go. These Valakut Awakenings could turn into other cards eventually. Opponent, Bloodstained Mire. One of these games we're going to get scammed, though, and once we get scammed, we just pretty much lose Blood Crypt and Thoughtseize. Better than getting full-on scammed. Takes the Bloodstone. We draw. Well, Explorer's actually pretty good. Play the land, play the Explorer. Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. I mean, we can Valakut Awakening to try to find something better. Doothy Voidwalker. What do we find? Escape. Well, Grove of the Burn Willows go. Let's see what our opponent does here. We are going to Valakut Awakening, I think. Might have been better earlier to play one of the Valakut Awakenings. We might get punished for keeping both of them. Opponent casts a Grief. Pitching a Thoughtseize. Are we about to get scammed? Oh, Sand was sweet too. All right, well, at least the Grief is dead. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent hits us. Down to 17. Necromentia. Maybe they just name Escape to the Wilds. We do get a zombie, though. Maybe they go after Awaken the Woods, since that's the card that wrecked him last time. Yeah, I don't know what direction our opponent goes here. Honestly, I'm surprised they brought in Necromentia against our deck. All right, they're going to go for the Awaken the Woods. Sure. I mean, we have ways of winning without Awaken the Woods. Well, so our next step is hopefully Valakut Awakening into an untap land so we can Escape to the Wilds and draw a bunch of cards. Not a big fan of giving our opponent an Escape to the Wilds. But all right, so there goes our Awaken the Woods. So we're gonna have to win with Zacama, Solitudes, and Furies, apparently. Valakut Awakening. Put an Awakening to the bottom. Draw 2. No land. Lotus Field. Ugh. What we're looking for. Well, Cleansing Wildfire on one of your lands. Draw a card. Lotus Field. Sack 2 lands. Pass the turn. Oh, that's not great. We did not get to Escape to the Wilds. More Voidwalkers. Gets and hits us. So what we want most, by far, is to find a Fury to kill these Voidwalkers. Sacred Foundry. Well, okay. Red, green, whatever. Escape to the Wilds. Fury, please. No Fury. And we lose our Zacama. Oh, no. I'll play a Mountain, play a Flagstones. Cleansing Wildfire, the Flagstones. Oh, that was disastrous. That was disastrous. Get a land, draw even more lands. Yeah, we're in some trouble now. That was really unfortunate. Opponent draws another basic. Cast the Grief to take our Blood Sun. So we're gonna lose the Zacama forever? Oh, that's so bad for us. Well, I guess there's a reason Modern Horizons 2 cards are at the top of the meta. There's the Fury, but it's awkwardly late. What do we even do here? We play the Jetmir's Garden. Opponent has 1 card in hand. I guess our best bet is, wow, this feels so bad, but I guess our best bet is just to play the Fury and get rid of the 2 Voidwalkers. If our opponent untaps with them, there's some really good cards that are exiled, the Escape to the Wilds and stuff. This does mean we need to top deck, though. Oh, that was like the worst imaginable Escape to the Wilds, really. Does not get much worse than that. About it. All right, has a Terminate. Well, we got top deck. We got to top deck. We have 2-ish turns to top deck. Opponent griefs us. Temporary Lockdown, not helpful. Well, tap land, go. All right, one more turn. One more turn to draw something. Gets and hits us. Temporary lockdown, not looking great at the moment. We draw Fury. Okay. This works, except if our opponent has a scam card, which they very well could. They have 2 cards in hand that they have not been playing. Fury, do you have a scam card? No. Pass the turn. Not dead yet. Not super alive, but not dead. I really want that Zacama. Passes. Well, more Furies is fine. Hit ya. Opponent goes to 11, and you know what? I think we just cast a Fury. This actually just gives us lethal. Opponent untaps. Opponent needs something. Do they find it? Voidwalker. That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. They can't activate it. It's summoning sick. They can't tap it, and it can't block. Oh, opponent has a Fury. They evoke it to kill one of our Furies. Apparently top decked. Kills a Fury. Wow, this is so close. We draw. Valakut Awakening is actually kind of sweet. Valakut Awakening. Put a land to the bottom. That's actually big. The one way I could see us losing here would be Ragavan dashed off the top. That would be the simplest way. So get in with Fury. Our opponent can't block. Oh no, we don't have enough white mana. In that case, Cleansing Wildfire your mountain. Draw a card. Oh, there goes red mana. Okay. Temporary lockdown to get rid of the Voidwalker. Opponent untaps. Did we get there? Did we actually get there? Wow, that was a ridiculously close game. Well, we got him. We got him. Our opponent came prepared to answer our Awaken the Woods, and it wasn't enough. We found a way. We did top deck well. I will give our opponent that. That is very true, but sometimes you run good. Sometimes you run bad. That's magic. So, well, we'll take it. Sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are awakening the woods in modern, attempting to awaken the woods in modern, and we can try this. Jengatha A. Been seeing a lot of Jengathas in modern lately. This hand would really love a Blood Sun. That would be sweet. Yeah, I guess we Flagstones go. Wooded Hills cracks it. Steam Vents. All right, so probably Prowess or Grinding Station combo. Ragavan. All right, that's annoying. Moon passes. Could just be Murktide, I guess. Well, Mountain. I don't think we can just 2-for-1 ourselves to kill a Ragavan. That's so brutal. Maybe it's worth it, though, because Ragavan's just so much value. Opponent gets and hits us. Gets a treasure, steals a Gideon. All right, well, that's not going to do much. Probably, oh, wow, what is our opponent playing? Okay, it's a lot of colors. Oh, it's like Domain Zoo. Interesting. Nakatl. Now the pitching of the Fury might make more sense. Oh, there's a Blood Sun. There is the Blood Sun. Okay, so Fury. Pitch to the Valakut Awakening. Kill Ragavan, kill a Nakatl. Grove of the Burn Willows. Blood Sun. Pass. Ooh, Timeless Witness is actually kind of sweet too. All right, we're actually not in bad shape here. Because of Blood Sun Lotus Field, we can start casting Solitudes, and at some point we can Timeless Witness back Fury. Fortunately for our opponent, they had a non-fetch land. Blood Sun does shut down fetch lands. So our opponent, kind of fortunate that they didn't need it. What do you got, opponent? Sign of Draco. And more Ragavans. Gets in for 3. Down to 15. Escape. Play Lotus Field. When do we Solitude? Probably just now. Let's Solitude. Our opponent does have blue mana. They could have counters. Get rid of the Scion. Get a blocker. Oh, next turn we got options. We can just Timeless Witness back to Fury and pitch Escape to the Wilds. Although I'd really love to resolve Escape to the Wilds. All right, Tribal Flames kills the Solitude. Opponent gets it. Hits us. Gets a treasure. We drop to 10. All right, Lotus Field. Ooh, that actually would have been kind of good. Yeah, we're a mana short of Timeless Witness, just hardcast Fury. Opponent passes. More Blood Suns. Okay, that's actually pretty good. In that case, Timeless Witness. Get back Fury. Play the land, Fury, pitch Blood Sun number 2. Get rid of Nicodle and Ragavan. Okay, this was a good turn. And this lets us keep our Escape to the Wilds for next turn. Oh, if we had drawn that Lotus Field, we could have hardcast the Fury. That would have been huge. But that was still a pretty good turn. And we're still at 10, so we're not super close to getting burnout. About it. Awaken the Woods would still be a sweet draw. Ooh, more Scions, okay. And more Ragavans. Come on, Escape to the Wilds. Give us something good. Escape to the Wilds. Draw some cards. We can't play those cards though, can we? Cleansing Wildfire, blow up one of our opponent's lands. Drawing a white card would actually just be sweet. Oh, Awaken the Woods. Jetmir's Garden and Jetmir's Garden. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, that was a punt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that was a punt. We could have played the 2 lands. I forgot the Blood Sun. This pile of cards being over the Blood Sun was a problem. I forgot the Blood Sun. We could have played the lands and they would have been untapped and solituded. I mean, hopefully we're still okay here. We drop to 6, which is still not 1 burn spell range. Opponent plays a fetch land that does nothing. We do get to Zacama, and Zacama is kind of absurd. Okay. It's dinosaur time. Oh my god, it is dinosaur time. Lotus Field. Red, red, red. Green, green, green. Whatever. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a turn. Float Elvar mana. Cast Zacama. Zacama comes down. It untaps all of our Magic the Gathering land cards. We get to blow up Scion. Zacama's just going to win us this game. So kill this Scion. The one-up dino coming through. Kill the Scion. I think we just forget about the Solitude now. I think we just kill everything and gain a bunch of life and be like, can you beat it? And then we'll make some mana. Kill the Ragavan. And then we will gain 3 life. And pass the turn. That was not bad. We overcame our punt with the biggest, baddest dinosaur in Magic. You don't see Zacama's very much in Modern. Could you imagine if we had time to an opponent scoops it up? Could you imagine if we would Awaken the Woods first? Oh my goodness, so much Zacama value. Well, that was actually pretty sweet. Well, now we know what our opponent's doing. We know we want temporary lockdowns, 4 days. That might be about it. Bring the lockdowns, go down, Timeless Witness, go down the Gideons as per tradition. Maybe Chandra's worth it. Chandra's a sweeper, something like that. We could bring in Runed Halo. Well, that was impressive. Zacama is actually kind of a legit card. Sand has a lot of good cards. It's not super fast though. I guess we can do the early pitch Fury thing and like Flagstones into Bounce Land. Is this good enough? If we pitch, you know what? I think we just mulligan. Okay, we'll keep this. Grove to the bottom. I mean, we don't have an easy way to answer Ragavan. All right, no Ragavan yet. That's good. Ooh, there's Awaken the Woods. Okay. Can we get a Blood Sun? Actually, Flagstones for this Cleansing Wildfire would be nice too. White card for Solitude could also be helpful. Windswept Heath cracks it. Full domain achieved. What do they have? All right, Scion. There's a Fury. I'll play the land, and I think we just Cleansing Wildfire for now. Blow up the Triome, put our opponent off their land types. They probably only have like a basic. They can't be playing too many in this deck. Maybe 2. Ooh, and a Chandra. Oh, do we just want to kill this? All right. Fury, pitch Chandra, kill the Scion. Well, that was not a horrible turn. Lotus Field not looking super exciting at the moment without the Blood Sun. Opponent, Flooded Strand cracks it. Sacred Foundry. Brawler and Nicodle. I mean, we can make a Dryad Arbor. Is that even worth it? Are we just playing the Lotus Field? Probably. All right. Well, this doesn't feel great, but yeah. Lotus Field, no Blood Sun, pass the turn. Opponent untaps with a pretty scary board. Gonna need to find a white card at some point. Temporary Lockdown. Oh, that would be so helpful here. Opponent, Overgrown Tomb. Maxes out Domain again. Another Brawler gets in hit. Well, we need to draw something now-ish. Opponent hits us. Solitude. Well, Grove of the Burn Willows. Awaken the Woods. Make a couple dorks. Pass the turn. Do we have to pitch a Solitude? Probably. That's just so much damage. Dramoka's Command. Solitude, pitch Solitude. Get rid of the Brawler. Fizzle the... okay. Keep that thing from going off. Was thinking we were fizzling the fight, but that would 2+1/+1 counters we need to kill anyway, so about it. Combat, it's us. We're gonna have to run really well here, opponent. If they have a burn spell, we're dead. Could not find the temporary lockdowns. Kavu. All right, we need temporary lockdown. Off the top, right now, Blood Sun, little slow. Well, time for a miracle. All of our mana into Escape. Oh, temporary lockdown, but we can't cast it. Oh, we needed like one more turn. Run it back. We're on the play this time, which is good. Should be a pretty huge difference in this matchup. Temporary lockdown seems like it should just wreck our opponent. If we can find it, it should just wreck them. We were just like 1 mana behind that entire game. Couldn't cast the Solitudes. No red mana, but we have oh, this is fine. This is actually pretty good. So we don't have Cleansing Wildfire mana yet, but what we should be able to do is play the Flagstones, explore to put Lotus Field into play, sack the Flagstones, be up to 4 mana on turn 2. Opponent. And then Cleansing Wildfire in our opponent's lands could do something. Sacred Foundry and Stupid Monkey. Well, we get to have a pretty good turn though. So we get to Flagstones. We get to explore. We get to put Lotus Field into play. Sack Flagstone, sack the forest. Grab a Triome. Pass the turn. So hopefully this Ragavan isn't too brutal, but we can hardcast a Solitude next turn. Opponent hits us, treasure. Steals a land that we didn't really need. Overgrown Tomb, untapped, and Territorial Kavu, and Wild Nicottle. Temporary lockdown would still be absurd here. Escape. Play Flagstones. Yeah, I think this turn we need to Solitude. Pass the turn. So we can Solitude the Kavu and then maybe block something. Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Goes to combat. Attacks. Loots. Discards a land. Well, okay. We will Solitude. Get rid of the Kavu. Opponent cracks. All right, so we're going to try to kill the Solitude, I assume. Untap land. That goes away. Landline Binding. All right, so that deals with the Solitude for now. Yeah, maybe we should not let our opponent loot there. So we take 5. Down to 13. Opponent Ragavan hits a Lotus Field. Cyan Draco. All right, go Escape to the Wilds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, is Escape even good here? We can still only play 2 lands. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be our best bet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Escape to the Wilds. Okay, there's some good cards. Fury. Pitch a Cleansing Wildfire. Kill everything but the Cyan of Draco. Play the land. Flagstones gets a land. And then Cleansing Wildfire, blow up Flagstones, get a land and a land. Well, we're going to 9. Are we going to die? Pass the turn. We'll see what our opponent has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, cycles a Triumph. Okay. Fetch land. So Chandra should be able to come down and kill the Scion. If there's not another threat, we're kind of in decent shape here. Opponent passes. Blood Sun. 3, 4, 5, 6. Chandra. That one's not getting countered. Kill the Scion. Cleansing Wildfire, the blue source. Now we need Awaken the Woods. Or just more removal. Ooh, temporary lockdown. Okay, pass the turn. So we lose the Blood Sun and the temporary lockdown from exile, but that was still a pretty good escape from the wilds. Opponent gets our blue mana back. Temporary lockdown's a nice little safety valve. We got the Blood Sun now. And we still have a Chandra. Okay, just gets Shingatha. That is fine. Opponent passes. Ooh, Eternal Witness. Emblem. Chandra. Play Eternal Witness. Get back Escape to the Wilds. Do it again. Yes, please. All right, we will continue to draw cards. Escape to the Wilds. A bounce land. Pick up the Plains. Grove of the Burn Willows. We're gonna wait on the Lotus Field because we got this Blood Sun in hand. So next turn we can Blood Sun Lotus Field and Fury if we need to. Opponent Emblem. We do need to close out the game because our opponent could draw like double Tribal Flame. That is a threat. at this point that we could still get burnt out. Another Solitude for life gain would also be kind of nice. Well, let's see what they got. 4 cards in hand. One of them's Jingatha. About it with a pump fake. Wow, are we about to go 3-0 with Awaken the Wilds? Seems possible. Okay, Brawler, sure. Passes. Oh, Solitude is super nice. Well, step 1, Blood Sun. Draw a card. Lotus Field. Play Fury. Get rid of the Brawler. And now we can leave up Solitude. So if our opponent does somehow find like double Tribal Flames, we can Solitude our Fury to stay alive. So hit our opponent down to 13. This does mean we're letting a Fury go to waste, but I think it's totally worth it. The only realistic way I see of us losing this game is double burn spell. Pinged, down to 11. Land, doesn't do anything because of Blood Sun. Cannot be cracked. Blood Sun's definitely not Blood Moon, but it does get fetch lands, and it does make Lotus Field busted. Yup. Passes. Timeless Witness. Let's start with Explore, draw a card. Put a land into play. Put a land into play. And oh, we got the GG. Wait, it's not over though, is it? So Chandra killed Jingatha, hit our opponent. Our opponent goes to 1 though, so this still isn't lethal. You know what? Let's just pass. There's no point in doing anything. Pass the turn. Opponent down to 1 from the emblems. All right, and we got the Solitude if we need the life gain. And I guess our opponent doesn't have double red anyway, so they can't even cast 2 Tribal Flames. And opponent scoops it up, and we didn't find Awaken the Woods, but our pretty janky Eternal Witness, Blood Sun, Lotus Field ramp plan, Escape to the Wilds, actually worked. Sweet. Much Brew About Nothing time. We are awakening the woods in Modern of all places, and yeah, we'll keep this. That hand's not bad. We got the Blood Sun. We got nothing to go with it. We'd love to just find Lotus Field, like Blood Sun, Lotus Field, Titania's Command. That's a lot of ramping. And then who knows what wondrous things can happen. Opponent. Polluted Delta. Well, if our opponent's playing, maybe this is Gideon's time to shine. If our opponent's playing black, we're gonna get down the Valakut Awakening before it gets Thoughtseize. Ooh, Steam Vents, okay. Okay, so probably, is it Phoenix? Prowess? Something aggro. Island for our opponent, and Ledger Shredder. And passes. Well, Temple Garden untapped. Explore. Jatmir's Garden. Go. Well, let's see if they get to start growing a Ledger Shredder. Probably. Expressive Iteration. Pretty good magic card. Strixhaven's such a funny set. Most of it was not very strong, but wow, Expressive Iteration's good. All right, opponent, land, and DRC, and Ledger Shredder. Gonna do some conniving. Pitches a creature. Oh boy. Turns on everything. Hits us. Solitude's actually decent. That is helpful. So I guess first, we have to Fury. Pitching Cleansing Wildfire to kill the Ledger Shredder. Got to do it first because if our opponent connives, then we can't kill it. Blood Sun and top deck Lotus Field, please. A lot of Timeless Witnesses that aren't doing much. All right, little light on the lands. Little light on the lands. Opponent, Ottawa, more DRCs. And more considering. This is a tough position. At some point, we're going to have to... Wow, they get to surveil away 2 lands. DRC is so good. At some point, we're going to have to Solitude. Trying to wait to see if there's a Murktide. So I guess we got to take the 3. Because Solitude is like our only way to kill Murktide. A Fury can technically get rid of a DRC. Yeah, here comes the Murktide. Well, Gideon's good at being pitched to Solitude. I don't know if Gideon's worth it in this deck. I mean, we are 3-0 so far, so who are we to judge? But Gideon just feels like it dies to everything. Well, Solitude. Desperately, and I mean desperately, need to draw a Lotus Field. Like, desperately. Cleansing Wildfire. That's not good. Cycle it. Ooh, that is a Lotus Field. Is it in time? Is it too late to matter? So we get to run out Timeless Witness. Timeless Witness gets back Solitude. Pass the turn. We're taking $1 million. M21 into SNC. Look at those mismatched lands. Mismatched borders even. Oh my god, so tilting. Opponent gets and hits us. Down to 7. I mean, if we could resolve things, we wouldn't be in the worst of shape. Like, if we could resolve Titania's command, I think we'd actually be in good shape. But I don't think that we can. So get in Hitch, yeah. So they know their Solitude. They passed all their mana up. Yeah, so I guess we just pass. Brazen Borrower. Well, yeah, we're probably dead here. Well, cast the Solitude. Get rid of a DRC. And Unholy Heat to kill the Solitude and double Surveil. Leaves one on top. So technically we're going to 1, but any burn spell brings us to dead. Or an expressive iteration. Oh, good old prowess. Actually, it's Murktide. It's not really prowess. Yeah, this one seems tough, and then our opponent also considers. I mean, our hope is that we can gain a ridiculous amount of life with Titania's command. That's assuming we're not dead to a burn spell right now, which is very possible. That's our one hope here, down to 1. And there's the Bolt. Well, I mean, when you see half of your deck by turn 6, you're gonna find what you need. There's a reason that Isn't Murktide has been near the top of the Modern format, or literally at the top of the Modern format for quite a while now. Rest in peace, in. I don't even know if Boyle's worth it against this deck. Temporary lockdowns, I guess? Ruined Halos? Some mixture. We'll go down Titania's command. We'll go down all the Gideons. Good old Gideon. A professional being sideboarded out in literally every matchup. Remember when this was like the best card in Standard? There was a time when Gideon was like legit awesome, but I don't know if that's in 2022 Modern. Are we just going down the Titania's command? It seems so brutal to get spell pierced or counter spelled, and our opponent's playing all of those. Like, try to put all of our mana into it and just get super blown out. Yeah, this hurts because we really want to win with Awaken the Woods, but I think we just have to play it this way. Like, against the spell pure / counter spell deck, there's no way. Well, okay, we can do some ramping. Double Flagstones, double Cleansing Wildfire. So that's not bad. I don't know what we're ramping into, but ramping's good, right? How about it? Flooded Strand. Mishra's Bauble. Cracks the Bauble and plays even more Mishra's Baubles and passes. Well, play Flagstones and Cleansing Wildfire. So Spell Pierce number 1. Looks like. What? Counters target sorcery spell. Delirium X. Oh boy. Okay, well, I am glad we went down Awaken the Woods, a copy of Awaken the Woods and the Titania's command. Invasive Surgery is. Wow, that is a ridiculous blowout. About it. Has only cast 3 cards here on turn 1, not counting the lands. Fiery Islet. So opponent's just going to play the control game, apparently. Well, we will play. We really want to blow up those Flagstones before we Blood Sun. I mean, opponent's probably going to counter it anyway. Yeah, let's try to Cleansing Wildfire. All right, opponent is all about them counter spells. Well, we will play Flagstones. Tutor up a Jetmir's Garden. Pass the turn. Misty Rainforest cracks it. Gets an island. Plays a Blood Moon. Well, go red cards, I guess. We do have a couple of forests in our deck, but this is pretty bad news. Grove of the Burn Willows. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Double counter spell into Blood Moon. And opponent, of course, has mana to do things like Expressive Iteration. Well, we have 2 forests in our deck. We need to find those 2 forests. And we need to find them pretty soon. Escape to the Wilds would be great if we could actually cast it. We don't have a mistake. Oh, come on now. All right, counterspell, Blood Moon, 2 mana 6/6. Welcome to Modern. Welcome to Modern, ladies and gentlemen. Blood Sun, draw a card. Lotus Field doesn't do anything because it's a mountain past the turn. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a good example of why Murktide is the number 1. Oh, come on now. I really hate Expressive Iteration. I really strongly dislike Expressive Iteration, the magic card. Hey, opponent finds a free spell off of their Expressive Iteration. Plays a mountain. Goes to combat, gets and hits us. Gets to draw an extra card. I mean, the thing is, oh no, my goodness, we draw our 1 mountain. Oh, we get lucky enough to draw a basic, and it is the 1 basic that does literally nothing. Temporary lockdown, not looking great here. Well, past the turn, yeah, we're to the need a miracle stage of the game. Opponent considers. His Blood Moon's not hurting our opponent at all. Castle Lightning Bolt. How many islands does our opponent's deck play? 3. All right, so they have found all of their mismatch islands. Down to 5. The good times have come to an end. Opponent, mountain, passes. We draw a forest. We got lucky enough to draw the forest, but it is not meaningful because this is getting countered. Escape to the wilds. And opponent. Oh, Blood Moon, Archmage's Charm combo. Got us. Yeah, Murktide. It's a thing. Much brew about nothing time. We are, I think we're keeping. Yeah, we'll try this. We are trying to awaken the woods in modern. I mean, we got the Blood Sun. We could really use a Lotus Field. Play the tap land past the turn. Yeah, Lotus Field's our best draw. If we can Blood Sun into Lotus Field, we'll have the mana to do whatever we want. As it is, I mean, hopefully Fury can keep us alive for a, ooh, okay. Triome, Money Pile maybe? Oh. All right, this could get bad. Looks like we're indomitable creativitying. Well, play the tap land. Pass the turn. The Blood Sun stopping the Dwarven Mine could be relevant. Blood Crypt, untapped. And, ooh, Fable the Mirror Breaker. That's not ideal. Actually, do we have to pitch a Fury here? I think we do. All right, let's Blood Sun, step 1. This will shut down Dwarven Mines. Oh, there's a Lotus Field. My God, that's a draw. And now we will Fury, pitch Valakut Awakening. Just to kill the Goblet. We just don't want our opponent to have a target for creativity, basically, is what we're trying to do. Pass the turn, especially since now we hopefully get to go off. I mean, we have Lotus Field into Titania's command to get double Lotus Field into Escape to the Wilds. Like, we might be able to do some big things here, hopefully. I guess we could also just Escape to the Wilds. The question is going to be, does our opponent have counters, maybe? Yeah, shutting down the creativity is kind of big. Opponent passes. Well, let's Lotus Field. How much do we need to worry about counters? I guess slightly. They could have Spell Pierce. I mean, I think we're going to go for it. If they got the counter, they got the counter. We can't really play around it very easily. I mean, I guess we could. Option B is just a cleansing. You know what? We're just going to do it. Whatever. Titania's command. Search for lands. Make some bears. See if they got a Spell Pierce. If they do have a Spell Pierce, this does mean they're not going to be able to Prismari command to make a token to Indomitable Creativity, which is a little something. On the other end, if this resolves, next turn might be kind of insane. I guess our opponent does get to flip this. So they can Creativity off the Reflection, but we can't really stop that. Oh my goodness, okay. We will take 2 Lotus Fields. Get a couple bears, pass the turn. Okay, so we have all the mana, literally all of it, but can we beat a Creativity? There's a Prismari command. Opponent's going to loot. Opponent's going to make a treasure. So opponent's theoretically going to get 2 Archons, probably. Can we beat 2 Archons? That's not exactly clear. So opponent flips the Reflection, plays the Proving Ground. Opponent, Indomitable Creativity. Archon. So we lose our bears. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Sack a bear, discard a land. Sack a bear, discard a Fury. And let's see what we can do. That's a lot of power. We're going to need some solitudes here. Let's start with Escape. Oh, this is going to be tough. Green, red. Escape to the Wilds. Oh no, nothing of relevance. And we're literally just dead on board. In that case, Cleansing Wildfire. Draw a card. I mean, we have to hit a way to deal with Archons or we're literally just dead. Okay, there's a Solitude that can deal with an Archon. Play the Sanctuary. Play Sacred Foundry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I mean, I guess we get to Blood Sun, draw a card. Pass the turn? Actually, you know what? Let's just do this now while our opponent's tapped down. Just in case. So Solitude. Get rid of an Archon. Opponent gains ridiculous life. Okay, well, we got through one of them. We got to get through another, though. We're still taking 9 here. Awaken the Woods. Oh, we could make so many Dryad Arbors, but they just don't do. Oh, no. Okay. Well, now I think we're probably dead. Too many Archons, too many Archons. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, Indomitable Creativity is a pretty good deck. Pretty good deck. Archon of Cruelty, pretty good finisher. Oh, we even shut down the Dwarven Mines and it just did not matter. And they have the Lightning Bolt. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, what tech do we have for this? Hallowed Moonlight. Hallowed Moonlight comes in. Maybe Runed Halo? Runed Halo helps. It doesn't just like straight up win, but it does help. Go up to Rest in Peace. Go down a couple of Gidiots. Wow, we ramped so well too, and it just was not enough. Maybe a Titania's Command. I guess Chandra can kill an Archon. That might be worth it. If we're bringing in Rest in Pieces, maybe the Eternal Witness effects get quite a bit worse. Maybe something like that. So we get Ruined Halo, Hallowed Moonlight, and Rest in Peace. Those are our hopeful answers. We'll try this. Flagstones would be pretty sweet, but we have the Hallowed Moonlight. So we do have an answer. Scalding Tarn, opponent passes. We draw Flagstones. Okay, so Flagstones and Cleansing Wildfire. If our opponent wants to use a Spell Pierce on this, I guess it's fine. We'd like it to resolve, but Blood Sun is even more important. Opponent, because Blood Sun shuts down some of their token production and their fetch lands, and they are like 5 color. All right, there's a Spell Pierce, sure. Well, hopefully this means a Blood Sun comes down next turn. Opponent, Wooded Foothills, cracks Wooded Foothills. Stomping Grounds untapped, and Wrenn. Well, the Blood Sun's pretty good against this. Opponent gets back a land. The Blood Sun's going to shut down the fetches, which is going to make the Wrenn a lot less effective. Forest and Blood Sun shut down fetches and more. Ooh, double Hallowed Moonlight. All right. Hallowed Moonlight's pretty good. It's pretty good at shutting down the Archons from beating us. We do have to stop the Wrenn from beating us. Ooh, all right, has a Triumph. So opponent, not out of it yet. Going to Besage the Blood Sun. Well, take a Jetmir's Garden. Passes. We draw. Awaken the Woods. Well, play the Plains. Pass the turn. Oh, the problem is this Wrenn. We don't really have a way to pressure the Wrenn. But if we tap out here, they can just fetch land, creativity, wreck us. Yes, Wrenn's going to be an issue. Wooded Foothills. Yeah, we really need that Blood Sun gets back the land. Opponent going to pass. How do we beat a Wrenn? Can we beat a Wrenn? Is it possible? About it. Oh boy, so many Awaken the Woods. Okay, I mean, we have plenty of fetchable lands. We will take a Plains, play the bounce land, pick up the Plains, pass the turn. I want to start Awakening the Woods, but I don't think we can tap down here. It's too risky. Too risky. Although this bounce land's a little sketchy because Besage can still just get it. Yeah, we might be just losing to Wrenn. One thing this deck is not very good at is pressuring Planeswalkers in the earth. Wow, so many Besages. Golly gee. All right, we'll get a tap land. Thankfully, because we're a Blood Sun deck, we have a million fetchable lands, so we're not going to run out of lands anytime soon, but we might get Wrenn locked here. If they ultimate Wrenn, opponent gets back a Besage. Blood Crypt tapped. Opponent going to get in for 1. Boy, this is such a tough position. If we try to Awaken the Woods, oh, there's the Lotus Field. Gonna blow up a land again. Well, we will grab a Forest. Well, you know what? I don't even think we float mana. Let's just play Lotus Field, sack and sack, get a land, pass the turn. Well, we're down to a single Hallowed Moonlight here. Opponent untaps. And the Wrenn is to ultimate, and we cannot stop it. Opponent gets back Besage. Plays the Bloodstained Mire. Goes attacking. Down to 18. Opponent passes. Wow, we've played so carefully to play around creativity. Ooh. Okay. Opponent going to blow up yet another land. I mean, maybe we're going to run out of lands eventually. They are making some progress. Well, play the Plains. Fury. Kill the token. Hit the Wrenn for 3. Pass the turn. Well, they can't ultimate the Wrenn yet, which is good. Opponent cracks the Bloodstained Mire down to 12. Would love our opponent to go for a creativity. We have the answer in hand. We've been waiting and waiting. Although our opponent's getting to the point where they're going to be able to counter back because they have so much mana here. Gets back Besage. Passing. Well, our deck is thinned. I'll give it that. We draw land. Opponent presumably going to Besage again. Yep. Well, Temple Garden untapped. Play the Grove of the Burn Willows. Go to combat. Attack the Wrenn. Well, I think it's finally time to Awaken the Woods. Opponent's going to tap down the Fury. Awaken the Woods. Yeah, let's just go X3. Make some Dryad Arbors. Pass the turn. So we still have up double Hollow Moonlight, and these Dryad Arbors hopefully will make up for all these lands our opponent's blowing up. Dryad Arbors versus Indomitable Creativity. Who wins? Actually, you could probably play Dryad Arbor in Indomitable Creativity, come to think of it. Opponent, Bloodstained Mire. At some point, they're going to have to go for a creativity. I think they thought they could beat us with land destruction, but that's going to get a lot harder. That's going to get a lot harder now that we have Awaken the Woods going. Opponent passes. Okay, kills a couple tokens. Well, go to combat. Again, attack the red. Opponent gonna chump. Okay, Awaken the Woods, part 2. I think we do it the same as last turn. Leave up 4 mana, so go X4. And Valakut Awakening tapped. Pass the turn. Okay, they're adding up. The Dryad Arbors are adding up. Is it enough? Opponent, Bloodstained Mire. Opponent's also gonna run out of these Dwarven Mines eventually. Maybe currently. Opponent untaps. I mean, they got to do something. This Ren plan is not going to fully work. I think we can keep Ren from ultimating. Also, we're not that far away from just killing our opponent here. Opponent going to get back a fetch land. Opponent's at 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, technically we have lethal. Is this hardcast? Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, that's unfortunate. We kept these Hallowed Moonlights so long, and they did so little. We will discard... We'll sack a Forest Dryad. We'll discard a Flagstone. Opponent passes. Ooh, Chandra. That's actually kind of insane. Chandra. Snipe the Archon. Go to combat. Kill this mega annoying Ren. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Opponent down to 11. It would have been nice to be able to go face there, but we can't let them just flash back all these fire ices. Bloodstained Mire cracks it. Dwarven Mine. Is this just another hardcast Archon? It is. All right, well, Hallowed Moonlight for no value. Archon resolves. We lose a dork, we sack the Blood Sun. Well, we're not dead on board, but if our opponent has a Lightning Bolt or a Fire Ice, we're dead. Blood Sun. I think we got to redraw. It's too easy for us to die here. We got to see if we can hit a Solitude. You're over the Burn Willows. Well, go to combat. I guess we'll see if our opponent has a burn spell. Go attacking. Opponent blocks. Oh no. We played around creativity for so long, but we ended up playing around it so long that our opponent just won by hardcasting Archons. Just the way Garfield intended. Well, we're dead to so many things here. I would be shocked if we live. This hits for 9, and then we're dead to a Ren, a Fire and Ice, a Lightning Bolt, anything that deals a single damage. Maybe our opponent has 7 cards in hand and none of those deal a single damage. It is theoretically possible. Seems very unlikely though. Oh, this deck, it started off so good. I wonder if we, I don't know. I think we played it right. I think we have to play around the creativity. And opponent has another Ren, and that does it. From 3-0 to 3-2. Well, we still get a treasure chest. That's something. Although those are the disappointing treasure chests. When you start off 3-0 and then you lose your last 2, those are the worst. We could still open a complete set though. Or a Westgate Regent. Oh, a card that no one played ever. Well, at least we got some play points. That's something. Oh, this deck. So what do we learn about Awaken the Woods? 3-2 is not a horrible record, considering just how wild the plan of this deck is. You don't see Awaken the Woods and Titania's Commands and Zacamas and a bunch of Timeless Witnesses in Modern very often. So I think, I mean, in some sense, a 3-2 record's not a bad record, considering just the brewiness of this pile. On the other hand, as I said before, it's always sad when you start off 3-0 because you got that feeling, oh, this might be the one. Maybe we're going 5-0. Maybe we're going 4-1. To drop those last 2. That last game, I think we played it the way we should have, but it definitely didn't work out. Maybe we should have tried to be more aggressive and run out the Awaken the Woods, leaving ourselves open to creativity. Although our opponent had so many cards in hand, there's a good chance that our opponent knew we were leaving up mana to fizzle their creativity with the Hallowed Moonlight or Containment Priest or something. So they just didn't ever go for it. So it might be if we ever tapped out, we would have just got wrecked anyway. So the deck, here's my feedback on the deck. I think the deck needs more to do early. I think that's the biggest feedback. If you look at our curve, we're really doing often not much on turn 2. Like sometimes we can Cleansing Wildfire explore, but we don't have a ton on, we have nothing on turn 1. We don't have much on turn 2. So our game plan's really often starting on turn 3 and turn 4, which can be a little slow. We saw that against the Prowess deck. I was not impressed at all with Gideon Ally as Zendikar, to the point where I just don't think it should be in the deck, period. Maybe you played in the sideboard, but Gideon just did not seem good. The aggro decks can kill it too easily, not impactful enough. I guess it could be good specifically against like a blue-white control deck, but those aren't just like a very popular matchup at the moment. So I think that Gideon probably has to go. And one card I was really impressed with is actually Temporary Lockdown. That seems like a really nice solution to the aggro decks in the format. So I'm almost wondering if maybe we drop the Gideon for that. Maybe we keep Temporary Lockdown in the sideboard and we add Prismatic Ending to the main deck. That seems like it could be a pretty solid early game removal spell. So basically, maybe drop the curve a little bit, because we got to see the late game be absurd. We got to see our Dryad Arbors take over the game and just make so many of them. We saw Zacama win games. We saw Titania's Command be really good. The challenge is living long enough to make those things happen. So I think that's where I would go. Cutting like the Gideons, maybe cut one Timeless Witness, play a place that has something early, and you could even play a Wrath in this deck. This could be a pretty good Wrath deck. You can play a Wrath, you can play Temporary Lockdown, you can play Prismatic Ending, you can play March of Otherworldly Light or whatever. Probably need it to be a white card just for Solitude purposes, which I think is part of the reason Gideon's in the deck, although Gideon just to pitch a Solitude seems pretty janky. Another thing we could do to help with that would be to play some white MDFCs, like Amiria's Call. We got some red ones, like Valakut Awakening, but maybe a couple of Amiria's Call just for more Solitude fodder in the early game. So I think this deck, as weird as it looks, I think it has potential, but there's some rough edges to it. But anyway, that is Awaken the Woods for Modern. That is all the Dryad Arbors that we could ever want, and sometimes they were actually even good. So that's been our Much Brew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.